Hey everybody, Matt Covey from Suburban Canine. Today I have Miss Tilly. She's about 16 weeks old. She's a Border Collie. She's a great little girl. We're working on some off-leash obedience. Tilly, sit. Good girl. Down. Stay. So I'm just going to put her in a stay while we talk for a second. So off-leash obedience, you should start young. If you haven't started young, that's okay. You can do this at any age. But as you work with the dog, I want you to think about what's important. So come is important, obviously, but way more important is teaching your dog not to run from you. And I say that and you might be chuckling to yourself and it's not meant to be a joke. What I mean by that is if I call this dog today and she messes up, which she's going to at some point, when she messes up, if I say no and she stops for me, no big deal. That's not an issue. So right now she just rolled over in her stay. I'm going to let that one slide. If she gets up, you'll see me tell her no. All I care about is that she responds to the word no. That's what we're doing today. We're proofing the word no. Mistakes are great, but I want to know what happens when she makes a mistake. Can I get control? If I say no and she runs, that's how dogs get hit by cars and run away. That's a huge problem. If I say no and her head goes down a little bit and she seems like, she doesn't want to get in trouble, that's a great thing from a dog. Your tone should fit the crime and should fit for the animal. So I'm not going to scream no. She's a soft dog. We don't need to be super intense with her. My no is just going to be loud enough to catch her attention. If she's bolting from me off camera, my no is going to be much louder than if she's just distracted by. So here, Tilly, no. Down. Stay. So there she broke her stay. I told her no, had her down and stay and put her back in the command. So now I'm going to start the come command. When I call her, if she does well, I'll mark it with a yes. She has not been trained with treats, so I just use praise, love, and affection as her reward. If she does well, I mark it with a yes. If she does if she does poorly, I mark it with a no. Tilly, free. So I free her up, and I'm going to start with some reasonably easy. So I want you to see kind of what we're looking for here. So she's distracted by stuff on the ground. There's rocks and plants and junk all over. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Tilly, sit. Good girl. Free. So I expect her to sit when she gets to me. We teach this, come means a lot of things to the dog. It means look at me, come to me, and sit when you get there. I like the dog to sit every time they get to me because it finishes the command and gets them focused on me. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Come on, Tilly. Sit. Yes, good girl. Free. All right, I'm going to make it a little bit harder. I'm just going to give her something to be distracted by. She's a puppy. I expect mistakes here. Tilly, what's this? So she's allowed to go for it, of course. She's in no command right now. Now I'm going to call her. Tilly, come. Let's go, Tilly. Good girl. Come on. No. Tilly, come. Sit. Down. Stay. So that was messy. She was sort of coming to me with the ball. I was praising her, and then clearly she decided not to come, so I marked it with a no. It's not always perfect, meaning if the dog is running away from you, obviously you mark it with a no. If they're coming to you perfectly, you praise it. She was like halfway coming. She had the ball in her mouth, and she was thinking about the ball and me. If she was able to juggle those two things and get to me with the ball, cool, that's what I want, right? Just come to me. So I gave some praise, and when it became clear she wasn't doing it, then I marked it with a no. I'm going to walk off and get the ball. And once again, mistakes are okay. She's still in her stay. Tilly, free. Good girl. So now I'm going to do it again. Get it. So she can be a puppy. She can, hey, get it. She can do whatever she wants. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Let's go. Good. Sit. Good girl. So when I call her, good job, Tilly. Good girl. Free. I call her, I mark it with a yes immediately, and I praise her all the way in. As she's getting to me, I just say nonsense. There's my girl. Look at you. You're so smart. Anything like that. It helps keep their attention on me. When she's 6 months, 8 months old, she's probably not going to need that at all. At 16 weeks, she needs it. It helps keep her focused. Otherwise, she's like coming to me, everything's great, and then she's like, oh, a rock, and then she gets distracted. I'm trying to make this easy on her today because she's young. So if your dog is young or they're inexperienced, use a lot of praise. So now Tilly's kind of right behind the camera. She's exploring. She's looking at stuff. I'm going to call her. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Come on. Oh, yes, good girl. Tilly, let's go. Sit. Good. So the only thing I'm seeing today right now that I want to fix is her sits are a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Tilly, down. Hey, down. Stay. So there, I repeated the command. We have a policy of I don't like to repeat a command without some sort of discipline. Now she's young and very new to this. If she was great at her obedience, was a little bit older, if I told her down and she ignored me, I probably would have given a little tug on the collar. But know your dog. So there, she was not super distracted. She certainly wasn't defiant. A little tug wasn't needed. But if I told her down and she was like this, like looking elsewhere because she was about to bolt for that ball, I'd probably give her a tug if she had ignored the command. There, I just didn't see the need. I'm gonna grab this ball here. Tilly, free. Good girl. So now we can also work on commands. Tilly, just when she's free. So there I said her name, but I didn't call her. I didn't expect anything from her. Down. Good girl. Stay. So I don't reiterate the stay command. She doesn't need it. And once again, mistakes are okay. And I've said that a few times, but sometimes I find owners are scared of mistakes, or they're nervous, or they're embarrassed. I could care less, even with all of you watching this video, if she leaps up right now to go for this ball. That doesn't mean I'm a bad trainer or she's a bad dog. It just means that was too much distraction for her. So don't repeat the command. Say it once and only once. I expect her to be good. Free. So free, of course, means free. She can go do whatever she wants. Good girl, Miss Tilly. Do you have your ball? Let's see it. What's this? Come on. Get it. Good girl, Tilly. You're a good dog. Tilly, come. Yes. Sit. Good. So there, once again, a little bit of a crooked sit. Good girl, but no big deal. Free. We clean that stuff up through time. So if I don't fix it, the sit will be crooked forever. If I turn her and praise her through time, she realizes she gets praised when she's facing me, perfectly in front of me. Now, I don't know if I think she might be off camera. She's chasing like a little piece of pollen or something that's like flying around. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Let's go. Good girl. Look at you. Tilly, sit. Again, great come. Sloppy sit. That's okay. Good girl, Miss Tilly. Down. Stay. So if you notice, we're not seeing too many mistakes right now. And one reason for that is this isn't our first rodeo, right? We've done this a few times. Now, we've never done this. She's actually never trained in this area right here. We've never done this exact thing, but we've worked on many things together. One mistake I see a lot, and so if you watch our videos, if you remember a couple videos ago, I did one on the come command, and it's got like 500,000 views, which is great for our channel, doing really well. With that video, I've had some really, really cool comments, but a lot of them are people saying, hey, that dog is good in the video. He's not running from you. That's not like my dog. My dog's, wild and crazy. And my response to that scenario is you're starting at point Z, right? Rather than A. Meaning if your dog pulls you on leash and they're choking themselves because they're pulling so hard, you're not ready for off-leash come. If you can't get your dog to sit down and stay out here, if I can't do this, if I tell her free, how could I possibly expect her to listen to me when she's distracted? So you have to start with this stuff. So I've been working with her for, 3 weeks. I'm doing house calls with her client. I go there and train in the home. We worked on heel, we worked on sit, we worked on sit, stay, down, stay, come, all of this stuff. We've got her to the point where she listens well. Tilly, free. And then now we can start doing the fun stuff, right? More of the off-leash. So don't try to start at point Z. You're going to be really frustrated, and it's not fair to your dog. It's incredibly unfair because they might get hurt, but also you're just going to have too high of expectations. So now I'm going to call her here. I think this might be a time she ignores me because she's thinking about that ball. I'm going to let her focus go back on it. Well, now she's looking that way, so this will be good. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Look at you. Good. Sit. Good. So a little bit of a sloppy sit, but pretty good. Yeah, good. Free. Free. So I mentioned earlier, she hasn't been trained with treats for the come command because praise works for her. She likes praise. So why introduce treats? We do train some dogs with treats. I always prefer praise if possible, meaning if the dog's motivated by praise, that's what I'm going to use. Sometimes, like the first time I met her, she was like 9 weeks old. She was terrified of like everything outside. So I used a lot of treats on loose leash walking just to get her moving. And that was like a one-day thing. And then she realized, hey, it's pretty cool to walk on leash, and that issue went away. So I used them to kind of create some excitement in the walk. Tilly, what's this? Get it. Good girl. Tilly, down. Good girl, stay. So now as I do this, we work on this with every client we possibly can, and we train everywhere we can. I also love to train in the front yard, right in front of the front door, making sure the dog will listen there. And the reason is with this little training session with Tilly today, the more of this I do, the more this becomes training zone rather than, chaos, right? And at some point in time, someone's gonna leave a door open. So imagine you go to like bring the dog out, whatever, someone leaves the front door open, the garage door. If the dog has never trained here before and they get loose, they're probably gone, right? And they're taken off and now you're trying to call them. And a lot of the comments we see in our videos are people saying, hey, I'm chasing my dog through the park and the stuff you were talking about doesn't work then. What do I do? It's too late, right? When your dog's off leash running in the park and not listening to you because they escaped, and then beg them to come, throw yourself on the ground and, cry like a baby, run back to your car, say, you want to go for a ride? Whatever, anything. It's too late for training at that point. Now you're in crisis management. What I want you to do is train and do enough of it so that when we hang out here, when the front door is left open and the dog walks out, she's like, what do you need from me, right? As opposed to, oh, I'm free and I'm going to bolt. Tilly, free. Good girl. So we train everywhere we possibly can. You can see Tilly's not much of a retriever yet. She retrieves sometimes, but right now she's just interested in the world. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Come on. Let's go. Good girl. Sit. So another great come, a little bit of a sloppy sit. That's my girl. Yeah. Good. Free. I'd like one more mess up here. You good girl, Tilly. Good. Down. Tilly, down. Stay. Free. Good girl, Tilly. So you can see right now, did you see she backed up and she kind of came towards me? She's in training mode. So right there, she was anticipating the come, which is great. So now she's off camera. This is going to be a harder one. I'm going to call her. If she doesn't listen, you'll hear me say no, and then I'll go get her. Tilly, come. No. Tilly. Hey, Tilly, come, sit. Down, stay. Okay, so the correction she got right there, and I know you probably couldn't see all of it because she was off camera. I called her, she didn't listen. I said no. When I said no, she stopped. I mean, if she didn't stop, I'd still be chasing her, right? She's obviously faster than me. She stopped, I went and got her, I grabbed the collar, and I backed up as I told her, come and sit. No real correction, because she's so new to this and she's so young, and she wasn't willful and she wasn't really distracted, super distracted, so that was fine. But what I would do is if I was trying to get her to come to me and she's like this, like looking over her shoulder at something over there, I would give little tugs to break her focus. It just wasn't needed there. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Sit. Good, my puppy. Free. Tilly, down. Good girl, stay. So you can see she's getting tired. I don't know how long we've been at this, not all that long. This is an easy training session, and this is something you can do every single day with your dog. So none of this is rocket science. The biggest thing I want you to take away from this today is proof the word no. If no doesn't work, everything else is gonna go poorly. Don't listen to anyone who tells you you can't say no too many, more than 3 times a day or more than 5 times a day. Doesn't matter. The thing is you have to back it up. So if she messes up, I say no, and then I'm like, that's just Tilly, and I walk off. Well, then of course no is gonna mean nothing. If I back it up, I go get her, I stop whatever she was doing wrong, and then I create what I want. No is gonna take on big power, and that's what proofing no actually means, is making sure she listens to it in every scenario. I'm gonna call her one more. She's eating some weeds in the rock there, so she might be distracted. Tilly, come. No, so she didn't listen, and now Tilly, come, sit. Free. Tilly, come. Yes, good girl. Sit. Oh, my good girl. That was great. Free. All right, so you got to see another correction. I always end on a good note, so we got a good one. And now she can hang out. And to me, this is what training is about. Training is about being able to give your dog freedom and knowing that they're going to listen to you so they can be a dog. So wandering, smelling stuff, checking it out, all of that is normal. All of that's great. That's my reward for a good training session for the dog. Lots of praise, and then now she gets to go be a dog and do whatever she wants. Thank you for watching. If you have questions, reach out anytime. We would love to help you.